Let's get into it. Don't chew me up because I know how you play this like the tussle. I think black men are all alike. I think black men don't like black women. I think you can meet 10 black men on different dating sites and they all cheat and they don't respect their women. I think every other race values black women other than black men.
Stand on it.
You standing on it.
Standing on it.
That shit must be food stamps.
No one can hold black women accountable because it's all really BS when we say it's very cliche to say let black women hold us accountable. Black men, mind your business.
You asked who's responsible for black women's ideas on what did you ask? Your question?
Who's responsible for holding black women accountable?
Yes, that's all you asked.
I am.
Not saying it's not.
I am.
No, that's not okay. But I'm just saying it's not limited to that.
Why not?
I'm saying that it's not just limited. Me saying that we're responsible for ourselves does not mean that's it.
Yes, I think that this is an issue that we have that we as women we can't speak in general. We always make it about like us, right?
We appreciate you. Like,
Have a great show.
all right, welcome back to another episode of Daily Wrap Up Crew. No book of, I go by the name of Eli. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, the real Y Eli. As always, we got Jew with us.
What it do? It's your boy Jew, and I ain't got no bars for y'all, but I just want to say I appreciate everybody in the comments on all our latest episodes showing me love. I'm back. Stop asking. Is Jew back? I am.
Motherfuckers think you a clone and shit. Like, they be seeing you on the screen. Is Jew back? Like, y'all clearly see the nigga. Like,
yeah, come on, bro. Stop asking. I'm here.
Anyway, we got some special guests. Ladies, let them know where they can follow you at.
Viotic. Follow me on Instagram, VIOTICCC, 4 C's. I'm from South Jersey, born and raised, and I'm an artist, so check me out.
Nice. My name is Ming, MING. You can follow me at _KVRBY, and I'm from Harlem.
My name is Mrs. JP, MRS_JP on Instagram. Thank you.
Listen, this next guest, listen, she been all over TikTok. Every time I go to TikTok, somebody writing a deep thought, like dissertation on this woman. They trying to ban this woman off of TikTok, man. We got I'm Just a Girl. Let them know where they can find you if they haven't seen any of your content, where they can see your content.
So thank you for having me. I'm Just a Girl. My content is, I'm mostly on TikTok, so you can follow me at I Am Just a Girl 2, but also I'm on YouTube at Just a Girl Talk. So yeah.
Okay.
And keep talking.
Definitely keep talking. Like,
turn her fucking mic up early.
Listen, before we get into this topic, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if y'all not already subscribed, hit the notification bell, join the membership, and listen to the podcast audio every Tuesday morning, 6 a.m. Let me get to this first topic. It says, are black men often viewed as the least ideal partners for black women? And I do want to get into this first clip. I want us to listen to it. You're going to be familiar with this clip. And then we're going to dive into it. Like, what if you could play that real quick?
Let's get into it. Don't chew me up because I know how you play this like the tussle. I think black men are all alike. I think black men don't like black women. I think you can meet 10 black men on different dating sites and they all cheat and they don't respect their women. I think every other race values black women other than black men. I think the real gag is black men don't like black women. Like, they're cheaters. I'm convinced every black guy is a cheater. I bet half of y'all can't even drop one black man that love y'all that's loyal. Ooh, the gag. Black men hate us so much when black women be the ones supporting them. And I know how you guys like to get in your bag. Don't be mad. Get you a Mexican, get you a Jamaican, get you a Haitian. Anything but a black man. And I'm stamping it. And if you want a white guy, if it ain't white, he ain't right. I just feel like black women, we need to date outside our race because black men don't like us. And we shouldn't like them, period.
Stand on it.
You standing on it.
Standing on it.
That shit must be food stamps.
No, I'm standing on it.
So what made you have this post, and what made you
Well, first of all, it's my preference. So all the black men were so offended. It's my preference. I've had bad experience with dating black men. They've been abusive to me. Not all of them, but the ones I've dated. So that's my preference. I wouldn't want to date a African American black guy. I would do a Haitian, or I want to date outside my race. Like, even coming, I'm the only child, feel me? Like, my father, he's a black male, but he didn't give me a good example of how a male should treat a woman. Used to beat on my mom. Used to do he's verbally and physically abusive. That's not something that I want. And I've encountered that on several different occasions. So that's how I feel. And I feel like the black men out here that want to date, like, outside of their race with the white women or celebrities, I don't take care to that. That's their preference. So what they shit, like, feel me, it don't bother me. So I'm stamping it. That's how I felt.
Okay. What's your thoughts on this?
I think she's entitled to her preference.
Thank you, sister.
What I would say is I do understand that it's more of a from experience. So it comes from a metric of what you've actually experienced, like from personal. But the fact that we're setting a tone or a stigma in regards to like black men is highly I'm playing the devil's advocate. Like, I'm not on the opposite side because I've seen domestic violence and stuff like that in the black communities and black homes. But I am not one to say that all black men are the same. It's similar to like when we were speaking on zodiacs and characteristics. Everybody doesn't fall into a box. It's just like them judging us as black women. All black women are not aggressive, or come from a background of she wants to be an alpha female or super independent. Some women do have, it depends on your nurturing and your nature of things. So I don't believe that we should stand on setting the tone, especially as a black woman. You should realize that how empowered you are as a black woman to say those things because you're coming from a black community stating those things. So it is very sensitive when we say it compared to a white person or somebody from a different culture saying it. That was one thing. And then on top of that, I only see two colors. So when I heard certain things, I'm like, I get it, but like your beautiful boyfriend now is technically, if we went back into slave times, he would be considered a
black person.
Educate me, because my man said that Jamaicans aren't black, so that's why I'm.
I'm South American and Guyanese, but I'm technically because I'm
West Indian also.
Yeah, that's Latin America.
Okay,
but I'm on Latin, but I'm still Guyanese.
So your boyfriend, which is he's over
him right there.
He heard this video and said, "Nah, I'm good because I'm not black." Is that that's the conclusion you came up with?
I mean, yeah, at first I said I'm not black because I'm Jamaican, and it's a difference.
Yeah.
Like,
culturally, but not race-wise.
American black men, I think
that's different.
That's the fucking problem we were just talking about on the other episode. Yeah, so I mean,
I think sometimes
this is evidence.
It's a culture thing.
Because we get into this, people don't understand when we say we're black. Then people are, we all black. And then we got people in the diaspora that separate themselves and be like, they black. I'm not black, because they understand black means black American. It don't mean Jamaican, because in Jamaica, most of them are black. Like, so they don't got to use that terminology. What's your thoughts on, y'all got holding it back real quick, folks. What's your thoughts on this topic?
And Jamaicans get accused of the same shit. Cheating. Like, so how y'all separate yourself?
I mean, I personally think I kind of agree with Ming was saying. I think most black women who speak very firmly on all black men are trash, it does come from a place of bad experience. So we're generalizing because I had a few, and again, it's your experience, but if you've had a couple men do you bad, then we generalize. So all black men are bad, or all black men are cheaters, or, find me a black man who's good. And it's, again, because you haven't really experienced that, we just throw out these very generalized statements that I think is harmful. I think to me it's very raising a black son, and to hear so many black women talk about how black men ain't this, it's just like, I just think you haven't experienced a good black man. And until you experience that, you may never, ever experience a good black man until you heal from that and recognize the role you played in choosing those, because we choose these men, right? You understand? So I think that we have to recognize when we speak, we're speaking from pain. That's really what comes down to when we say, oh, it's all black men. That's just those black men. She mentioned her father. So you get, it boils up resentment toward black men. And that's where you got to heal and do some work, because you're going to keep meeting trash black men.
What was your thoughts on this, Jill?
First, I want to let you know, I'm a Jamaican man, and I identify as a black man. You get what I'm saying? So
thought you was Dominican.
Fix your veneers. But I do think it's a problem, and I am offended because when we constantly hear this from the women that we love, and not every man deserves the respect from you, but not all the black men deserve that same type of disrespect. We are not who your father was to your mother. We are not who those other brothers was to you, as a lover. And God forbid if this man ever do anything, I'm not wishing anything bad on y'all, but would that narrative be painted separately if it was something else from another man, or is it because of your experiences just only black men?
My experiences, definitely my experience. To those who are offended, I mean, I apologize, but I feel how I feel. I'm not backing down from that. I definitely feel like I'm healed.
Then that's not an apology.
I mean, I
You
feel
could
like
take
she
it like
doesn't have
that.
to apologize.
The world
for what her
wouldn't take it like that. The
preference is.
people that you apologizing to me, right? If I'm offended, right?
No.
But
You said you felt offended, so yeah, I'm addressing your feelings, but I don't like, that's how I feel. Like, I don't care about how the next man feel, because the next man don't care how I feel. That's my opinion.
I do. I'm listening to you, and I told you I'm sorry that was your experience of seeing your mother, your brother, or your cousin, whoever, mistreating a woman. But all black men should be bottled up in that. And there's white men who beat their women. There's
all races can cheat.
Okay, but but you didn't say that. You said only black men.
But it's not her job to change her preference to make you comfortable. I feel like
it's not her job to voice that opinion.
it is her job because that's what she likes, and it's not. We don't have to be
she
offended.
Said all black men are cheaters.
That's
and
her,
beaters.
but she said that.
She's
I didn't say
wrong.
that.
And I have the right to tell her she's wrong.
You have to
because she's
recognize
talking
that's
based
how
on
I
her
feel.
experience.
That's that sisterhood shit.
No, but people can say what they want. It's like people say they like dark skin or light skin. I don't get offended. That's what they like. But it's okay.
But when you start stereotyping off of
you gotta be confident in yourself to know who you are. You gotta know that she's not speaking to you.
I don't think it wasn't I like Jamaican, Asian. It was all black men. That was a like it was factual.
But she's one
so
woman
that
talking.
but it's to a large group of people. We got to understand how our voices are powerful. Like we got to stop saying it's
Especially
one woman. It's very powerful, and we on this big platform, right?
know
So
who you
we
are.
know our voices are
And
powerful.
all I would say is she's definitely as a empowered black woman. You can own and be prone to acknowledging or mentioning how you feel. Just be careful with the way that you're delivering. A lot of people neglect the delivery, and the delivery is key. It's not about the message; it's the way that it comes across.
That message is wrong too.
I mean,
I
it
definitely
was the
take that into
message though. It wasn't about. I don't think it was the delivery. I think it was purely the message. The message was all black men are cheaters.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I'm standing on that.
So that was. It wasn't the delivery. It was purely like saying, right or wrong. It was, and again, delivery was fine. It was her way of speaking. It was just the message of all black men are cheaters. Go find you a white man, whoever, just don't date black men. So that was the part where it's like your voice is so powerful that, once you put it out there, imagine having a black son or a black daughter. So then what?
When you on the opposite end of the spectrum and you hear like women saying if y'all gonna date outside your race, then you could go do that. Just don't downplay black women. You know what I'm saying? So you could express your preference without downplaying what you don't like. You know what I'm saying? You could express what you like and leave out what your mama said. If you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say it. You know what I'm saying?
She said it.
I feel like I said it, so it's like I'm gonna say what I want. It's my page. Y'all made that go viral, but not the music.
But this is the huge disconnect with men and women, and this is why sometimes we have these wars, these gender wars between men and women, especially black men and women, because women or a man may say something and stand on it when we don't acknowledge when something is wrong.
That's my opinion. I didn't feel like my opinion was wrong.
So you don't have wrong opinions?
I mean, I do in general, obviously. Like, I'm not saying that. But for that video, that's how I felt. I'm standing on it. I'm not apologizing. That's how I felt.
So how many black men you say you dated in your life?
I dated a lot. What's up?
What's a lot?
I dated a lot.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I can't count how many I dated. I dated a lot.
All right, how much black men you think it is in this world? Like,
how many black men do I think is on this world?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not.
So you dating this and speaking on this. That makes sense?
Yeah, I do what I want. So I don't care about what the next person
You know
thinks.
better.
That's
You
what I've
know
been
that
trying to
she's
do.
What you gotta say?
For myself, and I
So
said
it
what I
don't
said.
matter what she said.
It's going to go around loops around your head. I said what I said.
Like let her say it. She's
again, it's like when we
spit it.
When it's like, it's like a racist coming around and saying, well, black people, they just know good. And then you would never co-sign a racist saying that, right?
But
you would never be like, that's
because they're allowed to say what they want to say.
It has actions to it. Race in this country.
They're allowed to say what they want to say. It doesn't hurt me.
Okay, I get you. But in this country, historically, when white people have said racist things, it has hurt us.
Yes.
And just like when she said that does hurt black men. That does hurt young black boys, because now you are going around and spreading this false information. Now other women that have felt that or experienced that, now they going to trauma bond, and we're going to talk about that later. And now it's just this constant negative portrayal of all black men.
Like how Asians think all black people steal out the store, right? That's what they think, right? So they're watching us. That's not right. We know that we're not all that way. It's the same thing. Like it hurts you to know you got to be watched thinking I'm going to steal out your store.
You can't spend your life trying to change other people's view on you. Like, you got to know who you are. You got to know who I am. Like, I'm a black man.
And you got to know that you're wrong sometimes, too.
But it's not your job to police everybody's opinion. Right, so. It's okay for her to feel like...
It is, because I'm a black man.
And you're a black man. She's not talking to you.
Yes, she is. She said all black men.
But you're not abusive.
Right.
And you're not hurting...
Then it wouldn't be all black men.
Exactly. So she can say what you want. You know the truth. You don't got to prove her wrong.
No.
Like,
I think
sisterhood
all
is
in all, I think all in all,
it's not about sisterhood. It's about reality.
Look, I think
you got to be confident in what you know and who you are. It's not your job to prove women wrong or men wrong. It's not. If you could walk through your life knowing that I know this and I know me and I know this, it doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't take anything from you.
That's the problem with our community.
I think what they were all saying, all in all,
I have no problem saying what's right or wrong.
No problem. I think all in all, what they was all saying is that it was the factor that you said all. Right. Yep. That's all they're saying. It's not saying like, if you would have said, through my experience with X, Y, and Z, then it would be more...
directed toward you.
Focused on that, your metrics and your experience. But when you say all, it sets the tone as a empowered black woman that you have experienced it, and it's most black men, which is messing up our community in a sense, because it's setting the stigma that all black men do this. All black men do that. Speak to Mike. Okay. All black men do this and all black men do that. And it just sets the wrong tone is what they're all saying. They're saying if you never
I hear what y'all saying.
Then it was perfect because you're like JP.
I respect it.
You're welcome to have your own opinion, but it was the words that you chose.
I feel like regardless, even if I say all parts, that's how I feel. Some other people say, oh, black women are aggressive. I don't give a flying fuck because that's how they feel. But they shit or how they feel don't got nothing to do with me.
Right.
So I don't
racist white men say that all black people are lazy. We know we're not lazy. We know we work our ass
I'm gonna check him too.
But suppose you gonna check everybody? Like, bro, I'm not gonna fight you because I know the truth. I am not lazy. I don't have to fight everybody who says something that is wrong about me. I know what's right. I ignore them. It's okay. You're not speaking to me. You're speaking to somebody else. It's okay for you. You're entitled to your opinion based on your experience. It's okay, but you're not speaking to me. I'm excluded. Yeah. So I don't feel no way. Like, it's okay for her to have her opinion. White people say things that it don't apply to us. It's stupid. It's silly. They made rules based on things that were not true. But what did we do?
All right, so then,
like, it's okay.
So then moving forward, right, I really don't want to hear black women as a whole constantly complaining about when black men have preferences or they say something negative about black women.
I never
when they say
once.
Some of them be well, I'm not even gonna say some of them because now we being general because nobody wants to be specific. When black men say black women are masculine, when they say they're aggressive, when they say they don't know how to be submissive, when they say they don't know how to act right, I don't want to hear nobody saying I want you to have that same energy saying okay,
but we're all different, like you said. Like, it may affect you a way and it may affect you a way, but she's still entitled to her opinion. Like, if Chris Brown say he like light-skinned girls, I don't care. I still love Chris Brown because he's not talking to me. I don't care. Everybody's entitled to their preference. It's okay. Like, that doesn't change who I am. I am still beautiful. I am still who I am. Just because you say that this is what you like, that you're entitled to like what you like. I don't like every type of dude, but it's okay. That doesn't change who you are. Like, we can't, like, it's not my job here on this earth to police everybody's opinion, to change everybody's scope to fit mine. Everybody is different. Everybody's experience is different. Everybody's journey is different. It's not my job to be like, oh, no, you're wrong. You need to get on this path.
It's your job to defend it.
No, it's my job to be open.
I was like,
to
talking
see
for 10 minutes about some shit you don't stand for.
JP,
because I can.
All in all,
10 minutes about some
all
shit
in
you don't
all,
stand for.
Because I can, though.
Okay.
Because I can.
Keep yapping.
I have a mouth to talk.
That's your problem.
So it's your job to defend it, but when it's on the other end, that's not your job.
That is my job, because it is you. Everybody's entitled to say what they want to say. It's okay if it doesn't apply to me. It's not applying to me.
But why you feel the need to defend it though?
Defend what?
What she's saying.
I'm saying she's entitled to her opinion.
If you know it's not right though.
I said she's entitled to her opinion.
But you also said that it's not right that what she said though, right? You said that.
I didn't say it wasn't right. That's her opinion. I don't feel that way. She feels that way.
So you agree with what she's saying?
I said she feels that way. I don't feel that way.
We're not wasting another 10 minutes on her
because it's
argument.
her opinion.
It's not an
argument. It's okay.
And it's your opinion to defend it.
It's okay. That's not what I said. You say what you want to say.
Let's run the next question.
Listen,
next question.
This is gonna segue perfectly, man. Who is responsible for holding black women accountable? Because clearly they could do whatever the fuck they want. So I'm just a girl. Can you explain this? Because your whole platform is about holding black women accountable, and you have gotten a lot of pushback, specifically from black women who have tried to, out you. They try to Google your man and find out his social security number, leak it online and shit like that. So again, when a lot of the criticism is that when men have a platform and they talk about women say it's not a man's job or responsibility to hold black women accountable. Black women need to hold women accountable. Clearly, that's not a thing. So, what's your thoughts on this topic?
Honestly, like you said, it's no one can hold black women accountable. Because it's all really BS when we say it's very cliche to say let black women hold us accountable. Black women mind your business, but we can't. Black women, unfortunately, we have adopted this mentality that I can do whatever I want to do and can't nobody tell me anything. And this is why we are where we're at. So when we try to have these conversations and try to hold each other accountable, you do get it out of that. Well, it's not my job. It's not your job. Mind your business. And I think we live in a very selfish, egotistical society now that nobody cares. We don't care. I care about my sister, but her friend, I don't care about her but I can see her going downhill, about to get hit by a bus. Well, it ain't my business, right? So I think if you're a black woman and the whole black woman accountable, you have to be ready to fight, because it's going to come. It's going to come with a lot, just to say, sis, I don't want to see you out here doing that. And anybody who knows my platform, I'm always thinking about how young girls are being influenced. So what us grown women are doing, it's influencing these girls to do these out of control, I don't care attitudes. They have the most disgusting attitudes, and you can't even check them because they have their moms who say I could do whatever I want. So can't no one hold us accountable? No, not a black man, a white man. Your white boss probably, that's probably the only one who can tell us what to do because he pay us. A gay man can tell us what to do. That's kind of, it still revolves around if it's a black woman or a black man, a straight black man, we don't want to hear it. And it's unfortunate. We are really in a place where we don't even realize how bad off we are. We don't even, a woman who has it all figured out. And I'm saying, sis, I can help you. And you say, I don't need your help. I'm gonna do what I want to do. But I'm watching you do the same thing over and over and over and over again. And it's not working. So instead of saying, you know what, sis, you're right. Let me take heed to this. I'm going to fight because can't nobody tell me nothing.
So let me start here with this question. Who do you think can hold black women accountable?
We're talking to Viatic now. I don't have an opinion on that. I feel like to each his own. Maybe their community, I don't know. Maybe their friends, their mom, whoever their support system is, that's who can hold them accountable. So that's my intake on that. Okay.
What's your thoughts?
I would say due to experience, it will probably be a village. I feel like people take heed to certain people, certain mentorships, and can be very adaptive depending on their nurture and their background, what they've been exposed to. So I do believe that it's hard to hold black women accountable for certain things. But I do kind of agree with the to each. I agree with both of you, honestly. It's a to each his own, because I've had experience with my mom, even with her giving me feedback and from her experience. And I feel like a lot of times they try to implode or tell you what they've been through and try to place it on you. I've been through this, so don't do this. It's just because your finger burned when you touched the pot, don't mean mine will. So I feel like a lot of people, they want to try it. It's like a trial and error in life. And sometimes you need to experience before you can really be adaptive to it. You can't just take somebody's word.
Burn-proof fingers. Like,
Period. I'm just saying, you never know. But sometimes you need to experience what somebody is trying to recommend rather than just taking their recommendation and running with it. So let me feel the burn, and then I'm like, all right, you was right. Let's move forward. Rather than me actually saying, like, she said it's hot. Don't really look that hot. But I'm going to just run with it. So I think it's a trial and error type thing. Okay. I'm using the pot as an example.
No, I got you.
Yes.
What's your thoughts?
I believe we're all responsible for ourselves. We are here. We are not put here to live someone else's life. We're not put here to live somebody else's journey. We're not here to grow our mother's garden. We learn from experience, and we are responsible for ourselves. Like, you can't blame somebody else for what you do. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that we are accountable for our actions. We live and we learn. Like, sometimes we make wrong decisions, but it's us who have to pay for it, not somebody else. So we are responsible for us and our actions. Women, Black women, whoever it is, I am responsible for myself. She responsible for herself. She responsible for herself. She responsible for herself. So if how she thinks, she got to be responsible for what comes with that. That's for her. That's not for me, because I don't feel that way. So I'm responsible for me. She responsible for her. Everybody responsible for themselves.
Yeah, this is why I be like, our community be in trouble, because we got motherfuckers that be thinking like, what's your thoughts on this? Like, it was crazy.
I would say that I think that is a detriment, first of all, because we should be, if we want to build community around our neighbors, I should be able to tell you something, you should be able to hear it, and vice versa. And as a father to a young girl and boys, what I do is going to affect their lives. So if we sit here and say that we are only useful for ourselves, or we're responsible for what we do for ourselves, I can't sit here and agree. I'm going to be responsible for my sister walking up and down the street, my homegirls, my mama, cousins, nieces, and that just don't stop. And whatever they do is wrong, I'm going to let them know, and I want them to do the same thing for me, because that's how we build community.
That's okay. When one says that, you ask, who's responsible for, what was the question?
Who is responsible for holding Black women?
I'm with a Black woman. I have a Black woman. I have a Black mother. I have a Black auntie. I'm naming multiple Black women I'm responsible for.
That's fine.
And I will hold them accountable.
That's okay.
And the same
it's
thing.
It's okay to give advice, and it's okay to, like, it's not limited. You ask who's responsible for Black women's ideas on what did you ask? Your question?
Who's responsible for holding Black women accountable?
Yes, that's all you asked.
I am.
Not saying...
No, it's not. He is. He's saying
I am.
He is
no, that's not. Okay, but I'm just saying it's not limited to that.
Why not?
I'm saying that it's not just limited. Me saying that we're responsible for ourselves does not mean that's it. Like, doesn't mean that I can't give advice to somebody else. I'm saying that my choices, I'm responsible for what the choices that I make. I'm not saying that I won't give advice to somebody that I'm seeing going the wrong way. Of course not. Of course, that's not what I'm saying. I'm answering your one question. It doesn't limit me to that in every aspect. There's other aspects of that.
But you ain't saying
because I don't have to. Because you asked me one question. You didn't say, am I responsible for my aunties and for young women? Of course.
They not Black women?
Of course. But I'm responsible for my actions as a person. I'm not living anybody else's life. If I see somebody going the wrong way, of course I'm going to help them. Like, one question does not apply to the whole thing.
He didn't ask you who's responsible for holding you accountable. He said who's responsible for holding Black women.
Me. I am responsible for holding myself as a Black woman.
You talking about yourself. We not talking about
Bro,
you.
how can I... My love, you're not responsible for her or him or this person. Like, you ask who's responsible for holding a Black woman accountable.
Not a Black woman.
He said Black
women.
Women.
Okay.
It's a general
statement.
Me.
I'm responsible
you talk
for
about
holding
yourself.
myself. Yeah, because, oh my God. God bless. Because, like, I can't control other people. If I see somebody and I want to give advice and I see them going the wrong way, or I see a better way for them, of course I'm going to offer that to them. Right. But I'm not responsible for their decisions. They're on their own journey.
That's not what the question asked you. If you're responsible for their actions.
He asked me the question that he asked me.
If you say you've seen something,
but it's not limited. That's what I'm saying. It's not limited. My answer, it doesn't mean like what he's saying. Oh, I'm responsible for my auntie and my mother and my sisters. So am I. But just because I say that I'm responsible for myself, yes, because I'm responsible for my actions. But that doesn't limit me to say that I'm selfish and I don't care about my community. That's not that. Like, we don't need to attack each other for just answering one question.
Nobody's attacking you. I'm trying to
No,
explain
I'm
the
just
question
saying
to you.
that I didn't say that. I'm saying we don't need to. Just because I'm answering the question specifically that was asked. Like, it doesn't make, just because I say yes to this doesn't mean there's a no to everything else.
All right, so
All right.
what's your thoughts on this?
Silly.
Real silly.
Women versus men all the time. Like,
there's nobody. I'm trying to explain the question to you. You clearly didn't understand the question.
Hear you. And all right, clearly I didn't. So
can
you
I
explained
elaborate
it.
on this? I think that this is an issue that we have that we as women we can't speak in general. We always make it about like us, right? So when we talk about, it could be anything. Like, what do you think about cars? Well, I don't like cars. It's like, well, in general though, like. Let's talk about cars in general, not like your car doesn't work right or this. So when we try to talk about as a whole, it still goes back to like me, what I can't do. If we talk about, again, as a whole, how do we hold us accountable?
Right.
How do we do better as a whole? Because what one of us does, it affects us all. I don't know why we don't want to, like, we act like that doesn't exist. Like, we are viewed, I don't care me being married or not married, white people see us all the same. It doesn't change. Like, we get lumped in one group. We can't say, well, I don't qualify, I'm over here.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they see us all. And if we keep painting this narrative as one and we live in this very much, I only hold me accountable. Yes, I'm accountable for my actions, but at the same time, I still want to hold my sister accountable and let her know, like, sis, that's not cool. Especially if you come to me and telling me. A lot of women don't even tell their friends that they wrong.
Right.
You'll sit there and be like, well, it ain't my fault. I mean, we'll let her tell the whole story and you know she wrong and you won't say anything. And a lot of women can't, or they won't, because they're afraid they'll get attacked. They'll get cursed out. They'll lose a friend over holding their friend accountable. Right. And that's kind of where we're at. We can't.
Yeah, I think just in general, why it's important to even have this conversation about holding people accountable is because when you don't hold people accountable, they tend to repeat the same mistakes that this is why we get that generational curse of want to be a baby mama instead of a wife, and because nobody's holding you accountable for your actions, like, you know what I mean? Now you prioritizing a baby mama life, whatever the case is. Just like on the show, a lot of times we have Black women who say they don't feel protected by Black men. I think as Black men, it's our responsibility to make sure we do a better job at making sure our women are feeling protected. Now, if I had that mentality, damn, you know what, that I'm responsible for myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? All Black women are speaking out to us. I can't think individually about something like that. You get what I'm saying? So whether they're not talking about me or whatever the case is, I still have to hold other Black men accountable when I see them not doing shit. These niggas hold me accountable all the time when I do some fucked up shit. Like, I'm not gonna be like, they're not gonna be like, well, that's him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's responsible for himself. So I think in order to get back to that community where we all can collectively hold each other without getting offended, without feeling like somebody's attacking us, you know what I mean? So let me get to this next topic.
I do want to ask you though, really quickly.
Yes.
Since you do have such an open mind, and do you think that is another way that Black men should approach these type of scenarios?
You mean like as far as like trying to hold Black women accountable?
Yeah.
I wish I could say that there was a different way that you can go about it. I just think we are in such a bad place. I don't think that there's really anything that you can do. Honestly, I don't think you could say it soft. You could say, sweetie, baby, and it would still be like, why you call me baby? Like, it's still honest. I don't know. I feel like we are this I don't care attitude, this very masculine, I could do what I want, is so deep in us that I don't really know what Black men can say. Because even just the thought of how the view of Black men already, it's like you can't win, because black women view Black men in such a negative way. So even when you try to say something nice, you're already going to be attacked because you're a Black man trying to say something.
And just real quick, what kind of like pushback have you been getting, with your platform? Like, what kind of things are you seeing on your end? Like, what kind of comments are you getting, or what kind of like, threats are you getting? Like,
yeah, I mean, the pushback is always mind your business. That's the go-to, like, or why do you care? And it makes me realize, like, these people really don't care. And it's 99% Black women who, in my opinion, view me a certain way, I guess, based on maybe how I look or my life, from what they believe to be something. But a lot of it is, again, mind your business. Why do you care? Let us do what we want to do. Like that. And that's like, are we serious? Or your husband's cheating. They just go with it could be anything. You could be talking about the sky being blue. They'll say, well, I hope your husband cheats on you. Or it could be anything. Anything, because you don't want to hear the truth. We can be talking about things that are really, really important, like how we are, our health is not the best as Black women. We need to do better in that department so we could live longer for our children, for our grandchildren. And you'll get attacked for that. It's like you can't say anything to want the betterment of Black women. And again, I say this all the time. I'm always talking about how we are the role models for young girls. If you don't care about, if you don't care, then do your thing. Right. But it's always the ones who don't care that don't want me to not care. And it's like, I'm just not that person. I'm a school counselor, so I work with kids. It's no way I cannot care. It would be almost, hypocritical for me to do what I do and not care. I'm seeing their mothers, I'm seeing their grandmothers. Their mothers are older than me and they're 17 years old. And, so it's a cycle. Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I ain't know it's going to get this spicy on this show, man. I'm always going to have a nice conversation. Like, you know what I mean? It is nice for the most part. Hit that like button, man. Subscribe if y'all not already subscribed. Let us know in the comments if y'all agree, disagree. Maybe we bugging. Like, maybe we don't know what the fuck we talking about. Let us know in the comments. Let me get to this next topic, right? Can women experience true happiness without romantic relationships with men? What's your thoughts? Can we start here with you?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Can women experience true happiness without being in a relationship with a man?
It depends. I don't know. It depends on the woman. I can only speak for myself. I'm spiritual, so I experience that happiness within God. God instills it in me, so that's my answer to that.
Okay.
Love that. I completely agree. Always God first. But I do believe it's a personal thing. Like if you have your own type of hobbies and things that you enjoy, or things you like to do with friends that doesn't have to be a lover or anything of that nature, then I do believe that you can find happiness without being with a man specifically. I hope we're not are we speaking like sensual, sexual, or anything, or are we just saying in general?
Romantic relationships.
A romantic, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that you can find friendships if it's in a male or a woman or platonic partners where it doesn't have to be a sexual thing, where they make you happy and they do the things that I guess you'll probably want the person that you're dating is doing. So I do believe you can find happiness without actually being in a romantic relationship.
All right, so let me reword this question. Yeah. Do you think women are truly happy being single?
Yes. Oh, you want to answer?
Oh, yeah. I like dating myself, so I've had time where I like dating myself and figuring myself out and trying to understand myself as I developed over years. They say you kind of change every 7 years. So me trying to figure myself out is the only way that I could probably be a good person or advocate to dating anybody. I need to understand myself before I put myself on that type of platform personally. Mm-hmm. So I do believe that you can find happiness through dating yourself or just being single without having a partner.
Okay. What's your thoughts on this? I think you spoke about something like this, right?
Yeah, no, I do think women can be definitely happy without being in a relationship. My thought process is, and what I spoke on was, I don't believe that a woman who decides to say, I want to be by myself forever, I don't think that you're truly healed or happy. I think that is a lot of pain that you will decide to be by yourself forever. Like, I just don't think that naturally you want to, spend your last years by yourself. Mm-hmm. And a lot of women are like, I'm happy by myself. I'm like, but that's now, right? Like, again, we're talking about when time goes on and they really think that. So I think people take it out of, like, they miss the key part of, like, forever. If you want to be by yourself forever, you need to do some work. Mm-hmm. You need to go heal yourself, because again, the whole point that it's not true is because you got a dog, you got companionship. So you're truly not happy by yourself. You need someone. We need companions. So that's the point that showed that we're really not built to be by ourselves. We have our friends. We have, our hobbies. We have things that are going to fulfill us. Mm-hmm. It's just, again, it goes back to, like, what are you speaking from? Is this pain? Is this hurt? Is this trauma that I believe led you to, I'm going to do this by myself forever? I think that that's a broken mentality.
Mm. And you were shaking your head. You disagree?
No, I agree.
Oh, okay.
I was saying, when she said forever, I was like, no, talk about not forever. I do not ever plan to be alone.
Got you. Any thoughts on this?
Man, can we get the fire extinguisher for her mic?
No, I had a woman. I thought you were serious about I had a woman come on my live and say that she decided in high school she was going to be by herself forever. She was like 40. Like that's whatever happened in high school.
That's because nobody wanted her ass.
But whatever happened in high school had to be really hard. That made you decide that from that day on you want to be by yourself forever. Like I said, you got some work to do. Like that must have been a really bad situation that you decided as a teenager that you wanted to be by yourself forever.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay. Ace? Okay. All right. This next topic I want to get to. One thing you speak about on your platform is women dressing modestly and stuff like that. Do you think there's a cultural shift with women not wanting to dress modestly and wanting to be more revealing? Like, what's your thoughts on that, real quick?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the norm. I think that is what women like to see other women in my opinion. I think women hype each other up to dress more revealing, and even though we know, most of us know that men don't. Good men, a quality man does not want, you can find a man who's going to like it regardless, right? But I think when you start attracting certain men, they're not going to like that. And I think when we get into the modest talk and the conversation, it goes back to the let women do what they want to do, mind your business, why do you care? But I'm like, it's so much protection that I don't think we correlate what being dressing modest. And, again, going back to your point about wanting Black men to protect you, how can a man protect you when you put yourself at risk? And I think we kind of undermine that even just by how we're dressing and we go out in public. I have to know that when I go outside and I'm going to, wear certain things, if I put myself in a situation, I'm now putting my husband in a situation because of how I'm dressing. So I think we go back to like thinking about, because I know for us as women, we want to have the autonomy to do what we want, but I think we dismiss. I think as long as you understand why men objected, I think cool. Like long as you're aware that why men don't like it, but I think we get into the men are controlling, they're insecure. I personally don't believe, this is just me, I don't believe that a man who's with a woman, if he truly loves her and cares about her, that he will allow her to go outside with no clothes on. That's just me. I don't think he really is serious about her. That's just my opinion. Because I think any man who truly loves his woman in that way and wants to keep her sacred to him, he's not going to want to have her exposed to the world. But if he's like, I don't care, girl, do your thing. I just think that that's a viewpoint on depend upon. I just don't think that's a real man would want his woman to be that way.
Gotcha. What's your thoughts on this?
I don't really have any thought. I don't agree with it, but I don't got nothing to say on it because that's how she feels. My man loves me to death. I'm still gonna wear what I want. I just don't agree with the whole simple fact. You said something like if you wear, what'd you say? You said if you wear revealing clothes, you got to be prepared to come with that.
So I'm saying if I go out in public and I'm wearing, let's say something see-through, and every man is not respectful. We know that, right? And he decides to touch me, right? And again, it's not okay. I'm not saying it's okay, but we know that there are men out here who don't have respect and they will, do things. At that point, I now will have to involve my husband because now I have to, let's say, call him because this man put his hands on me. Simply off the fact that I was exposing myself.
I feel like, that man, if he were to touch you, his mother, whoever raised him, failed him. Because a woman, you should be able to wear what you want without being touched or sexually assaulted.
But let's think about this. What you're wearing, is it not sexual?
Give an example. What you talking about? A dress? You talking about a bikini top? What are we?
See-through.
Yeah, it's just exposing your body. Your breasts are showing. Your butt is showing. It's see-through. You know what people wear. They're wearing very. At this point,
it's all the time wear that. I still don't.
Right.
I don't agree with what you're saying.
Right.
Though.
But again, I think that's kind of the thought. Like we should be able to wear whatever we want. And I think that that's also, why we have this clash with men and women.
Yeah, in a perfect world, that would be ideal. You know what I'm saying? But we know we don't live in a perfect world. Like every man is not raised by a 2-parent household.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not raised right with morals and everything. It's creeps out there. We just had a show about would you want to go in the woods with a bear or a man, and 4 out of 5 picked the bear. You know what I'm saying? So we know that is men out there that women fear.
But and to that point, right? If we say black, let's just use because a lot of this come back to black men a lot of times. If we say black men are so dangerous,
right?
Why would I then go outside with no clothes on around all these dangerous black men?
I don't think
I need some.
I don't have that thought. Like I love black men. I'm not scared of black men.
I'll see y'all next episode, yo.
What?
Honestly, like I didn't think we think about if we and I'm not. This is not to where any other ladies on the couch, but a lot of women feel that way. Black women are dangerous. They pick the bear over the man.
No, that's
but if
crazy.
we're in this world and we are going outside, because a lot of women go outside in scandalous clothing, and they also get belligerently drunk. So you're also putting yourself in a bad position while you're also not dressed the right way. So again, you can be taken advantage of by, so I just think if we use that thought process that they're so bad, why would we not want to protect ourselves at all costs?
I want to say I don't use that thought process. I've never thought that like a black man would be unsafe to me. Like I've never had that thought, like where I couldn't run to a black man and be like, if somebody's chasing me, I would run to the black man. But I never felt unsafe. Like I would never. I know everybody's experience is different, but I've never thought that. I've never been raised like that. I've never been in that environment where I feel like I hate black men or I dislike black men or that I'm scared of them. Like I look to them to protect me. Like I wouldn't run away from a black man. I wouldn't want to be in the forest with a bear. Why would I want to be in the forest with a bear? I want to be in the forest with a man, with a black man that can protect me, that I can communicate with. Like
that's the logical and reasonable.
That's not
and
like, you know what I'm saying?
answer,
That's not my thought. Like, why would I be so scared? I don't know. I everybody's entitled to their opinion, but why would I be so scared of a black man? Like when I come from one, like I just don't understand that. And that's just my own experience. But I don't know. Maybe I'm out the loop. Maybe I'm living in a bubble, but I never thought that was the general idea of women. Never. Never. Not even the women around me. Like,
but
they're not afraid of black men.
I don't mean to go back, but that's why it was so important for us to articulate how we felt about the first statement.
Well, I'm going to challenge certain things that you said because it is I'm on both sides. I'm very expressive when it comes to my styling and things of that nature. I'm not going to sit here and try to form fit myself into what the expectations is because I am heavy set or I have this shapely body. I'm not doing that personally. Women that do it, I get it. But if a woman is slender and she can wear a bantu top, I don't understand why women that have, a bigger chest shouldn't be able to wear the bantu top. Do you get what I'm saying? So I get the bias and the things of that nature where certain things through certain expression can lead to people sexualizing you. But as a woman, you're already sexualized. There is no adjusting how men view you, right? They might see you and say, oh, she wants it. No, she doesn't. It shouldn't give a man a green light to say, oh, because she wore the sleazy, short-fitted skirt that she obviously wants some type of... No, I can't agree with that. I get what you're saying because it will start attracting the wrong type of attention. I get what comes with it because I've been in modeling predicaments and stuff like that. But I think it's solely focused on the person and it shouldn't be form-fitting where it's like, oh, all women should dress in all black, covered head to toe, and like as if we're Muslim or anything of that nature. If we think back in the 90s, they were wearing the stuff that's coming back now. You get what I'm saying? Like the skirts and mini skirts, they're redoing it. So it's nothing new under the sun when it comes to style.
But if we go back, right, like the 90s is just not that long ago, right? But if we go back to the 60s, they weren't.
Yeah,
right?
They weren't.
You know, so we go...
Certain things were, even when you think about stripping and things like that, they were more so, they would keep the bralette on. Yeah, so I get what you're saying as we have, evolved as people and as... women, but I don't believe that women should have to place themselves in a box because they're afraid of how the next sex may react to it. That's just like, I don't think when I'm going outside, like, this is very flattering
to me a certain way.
He might, I'm not even, because...
Do you care how you're portrayed though? Like, do you care how...
Absolutely not. I'm here to serve one person.
No, exactly.
And that's God.
So let me ask you a question. Are you a mother?
No.
If you had a child, would you care how you're portrayed to your children?
To a certain things I would not expose my children to.
No, like I'm saying like your normal, the way that you like to express your style.
Oh yeah, like my 9 to 5. I'm sure if I told you probably my position in my career path, you would probably think I'm the total opposite, and I like it like that because I don't want people to know what I do in real life.
No, I get it. I'm just saying our kids are going to see us.
Yeah, so
in all
aspects. Through my
so
9
I'm just
to 5,
saying, would you care?
Absolutely. So if it's something that I'm going out to a nightclub with my friends and we like, okay, we go dress, it probably would have happened. But if we're like, okay, we're going to wear hoochie mommy outfits, then I wouldn't, my kids would probably be with their daycare provider by then, and I wouldn't expose them to that because they're not at that age where they should be exposed to it. But if you think about it, societal norms and the parental control, you don't really have control over it. So I probably would want to express certain things to my children and start to set the tone for them prior to them seeing it on the street and adapting to it elsewhere. With that being said, no, I get what you're saying. Like certain things I would definitely limit my kids to. I wouldn't let them see me at a young age, like going out to a nightclub and I have a Bondu top on. So my daughter thinks I don't even approve of certain kids at a certain age wearing two pieces. You get what I'm saying? Kids, I don't think my daughter would never wear a two piece at a certain age. Belly button piercings, no.
Yeah.
I believe that at certain ages where you have to set the tone with your children to build that type of connection to let them know, like, okay, I accept you for you and what is appropriate. My mom goes through it to this day, and I'm grown as heck. And my mom is still like, but you're my daughter. And I'm like, I get it. My mom's like, you never want to understand until you have a child. So I get why people have these visuals of what should be. But I don't think that people should try to change who they are to fit into societal norms of what is accepted or what things to avoid in life. It would just I think it would make a lot of people miserable because it's like, okay, I can't be, fashionable, but the Kardashians could wear it because they're on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like certain things that come with it. It's like they get to wear it, but when I put it on, it's like, oh, why you got it on?
They got
Same
security.
thing. They got security,
They
right?
do.
I guess that's why. But
I really
think,
like the.
Wait, let me say something real quick. I think why men and women view this topic so different is because, like, men are looking at it through the lens of a protector, and women, like you said earlier, is just like, I could do what I want. You know what I mean, y'all not thinking about the future, the consequences of.
But I've been with a man that's very accepting. He helped style me. You know what I'm saying? My best friend has helped style me and been so because he is a protector. He is my sole provider. So he's there for me regardless. Of course, if I'm talking about, baby, I'm about to walk down the block in a bikini. It was a time where I had a double up. What is it called? Like hose. I don't think they call it hosieries. You know when it has the holes in the dress. What do we call those? Fishnet. Yes, fishnet. Why was I calling it hosieries? Fishnet dress, but I had it doubled up, and he was even like, "Okay, best friend, I can see your panties. Change that." Because I had doubled. So you can't really see. You could see portions of my skin, but you couldn't really see it because I doubled up the dress. But the point was, he called it out, like certain things, like, okay, panties, we don't want to see your panties. Put a different color panties on. So he would call out certain things, but it was never like, okay, I need you to change that whole fit. Actually go put a coat on, some sweats, and I don't
You said this your best friend?
Style. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he's a male. He was, he's my.
Would your man be
But
able
what
to do
I
that?
was about to say,
we dated prior.
That's
He was
your
my,
man.
he's my.
No, I'm saying,
boyfriend.
but was he your man? When he was your man, would he be able to do that?
Yeah, he came outside with me. Yeah, it's been times where he came outside with me. He when he knows he has a good looking woman, he doesn't expect people not to look. It's just like respect her. Like eyes wander naturally. As men, y'all can probably equate to that. Your eyes wander.
I think there's ways of looking beautiful and sexy and have sex appeal without revealing yourself.
Absolutely.
So that just
I don't
I'm
disagree
different
with
on that.
Absolutely.
I think like a lot of the times when I hear these conversations, right, it always goes down like you said. You speak to young girls. I think what's happening now is we're having young boys being raised, and whenever they go to social media now they're being told they ain't shit. Don't be with him. This, that, and the third. The young girls are growing up hearing that same rhetoric towards young black men or black men. And then on the other end, you have young black boys who are growing up and they're seeing women, their mothers being super sexualized, and then them start to listen to the music, and now they're sexualized women. Now we have this over sexualization. So we don't realize the impact that we have on the youth and how they're going to grow up. Because now, again, it goes back to now there's a cycle again. Now the young boys are going to grow up, and now they might not want to fuck with black women because all they heard their whole lives is black women bashing them and saying, don't be with them, or they this, that, and the third. And now we got young girls growing up who going to have the same, oh, well, this girl said all black men is, whatever the case is, like it must be true like because she got a lot of comments under her shit. Like, so again, we're continuing the same cycle. There's no solutions. It's just bashing, and I don't see it getting any better. Like, you know what I mean? So even with the modesty thing, it's just like, if somebody is telling you, hey, like, your man, you know what I mean? He has an input. He should have an input. We go back to, societal norms that we don't tend to give men. Like we use, like, as society has progressed, we become so like alternative lifestyle, like we don't fit into these societal norms. But when it comes to men, they always have to continue being their roles have never changed. But now women's roles are interchangeable now. Oh, well, we don't have to cook. We don't have to be submissive. We don't have to clean. That a man can do. This is the rhetoric we're hearing. While a man's job is he has to be a provider. There's no flexibility in that. You know what I'm saying?
Can I tell you why I feel like it has came to that type of conclusion? A lot of times, what we've seen in households where women are bringing those type of things to the table, there's no acknowledgement. There's no form of appreciation. They are being violated. They are being cheated on. They are being treated very low. So why would a woman continuously be that type of sole provider or go out her way to learn how to cook, clean, provide, be nurturing, stay at home? Why would a woman do that?
But
they would have to create a form.
You know there's men that's providing for women that have got cheated on? So do you think that's a valid excuse for the next man to be like, you know what? I provided everything for this woman. She cheated on me. So now I'm never going to do it again.
And there are households where you're taught to love your man, to not conform to what everybody else is thinking, to be the leader, not a follower. Like, it doesn't matter what everybody else is saying. You know who you are. You know what you want. You know that a man is this. You know that black is this. Like, who cares what everybody is saying? All right, maybe it's not, but
single-parented households, how are they hearing that?
But even in single-parented households, there are some single-parented households that teach that. Like, don't be a follower, be a leader. Like, there's that you should love black men, that you should love yourself above all. Like, you should care about how you carry yourself. And that is what's supposed to carry you. Like, it's not everybody else's job. Social media is not what's supposed to be raising you. That's not like the prototype. You know what I'm saying? It's what's in the home.
But social media
it's influence. But when you're taught to be strong in your home, it don't matter. You look at those people like, oh my God, what are they doing?
But that's like, this is crazy. I think I don't know if y'all recognize how powerful social media is. Like, you can say because most children are being raised by single mothers, right? Most in the black community. And social media is very much raising our children. It's very much so. Even if your mom is saying, sweetie, do this, do that, you got your social media and your friends who are way louder because that's all you see. Kids don't even have a difference of the more modest girls versus the not. Everybody is, right? I've seen it with my own eyes. My students coming to school with Ethica shorts on. They're in 12th grade. And I tell them very, very frankly, the way that you dress, be mindful of how boys are going to treat you. You have to be mindful. It doesn't mean that you should be called out your name, but you have to be prepared when you come to school and you want to wear see-through tights on with a thong to show your butt. You have to be prepared for how you will be treated. It's not okay, but when you do certain things, you have to be prepared for what's going to come. So if you don't want that treatment, I'm not saying that you can't still be called out your name, but again, you're more likely. And these kids are very much. These girls are seeking attention so badly, and all they know is to do is take clothes off. That's it. That's what they think is.
So how do you recommend them be prepared for it? Like, what would you say?
Recommend to be prepared for what?
Yeah, when you say that, when you come into the school with the Ethica shorts, you have to be prepared for how boys react to you. So, like, what is the preparation? Like,
No, I'm saying, like, you may not be treated nicely. He may call you out your name. Like, if you are okay with that, keep wearing them. But if you don't, you can't come and say, Miss, he called me, he looking at my butt, he keep talking about my butt. You're in shorts that his eyes are only looking at your butt. We can't, again, like you said, everybody's going to look. They're boys. Everything is over-sexualized. So everybody's not being raised to, keep their mouth shut. So again, if you don't want him to say these things, I've even had girls, I'll say, I can see your panties, but don't look. I can see your panties. They're out. They want to show their panties. They want to. So you have these situations. And again, it still goes back to being very harmful. You got a girl who's playing too much with a boy. He does this to her. Then they get into a situation and she's calling her brother. Now somebody's not here anymore. All over, right? Because she thought she could wear whatever she wanted to. And then now we're in this bad position. And they're 16 years old. All because I think I could do whatever I want to do.
What you going to say? Listen, man. Let me get to this. We got 2 more topics before we get up out of here. What are some? Why do some women trauma
hit that
bond?
Like button, y'all?
Yeah, for sure. Hit that like button, man. Why do some women trauma bond over events, even though they haven't personally experienced it? I'll give you an example. I was talking to this one woman, and we had a very extensive conversation, and she told me she had a great father. She's never been cheated on. She has all these positive black male figures in her life, but yet she always felt the need to send me like these negative, oh, black men ain't shit, or black men are deadbeat, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, I had to ask her, like, why you never experienced this? Like, why do you feel like you're trauma bonding over experiences that you haven't personally experienced yourself? And I do tend to see this a lot with women. Can you speak on that from your personal experience? Do you see some women trauma bonding over experiences that they never experienced themselves?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard for me to speak for all women. I can only, I'm emotional. I feel empathy for other women, so it's easy for me to like trauma bond or sympathize with what they've been through. But I'm gonna let you ladies take over. I got a show to perform, but this podcast was great. And
We appreciate you.
Have a great show.
Don't move. Let me stay right here. Stay on top right here.
Yeah, so what's your thoughts on this whole trauma bonding experience? Why do you think some women are quick to trauma bond with experiences that they never personally experienced themselves?
From personal experience, I mean, I did experience what a lot of my friends went through later on in life, later than they did. But I do feel like it's like she kind of said it, like women are naturally nurturers and emotional creatures. So I feel like if you tell somebody a story, it's kind of like setting a tone and creating like a form of imagery where it's like, okay, I can imagine what you went through. No, I don't feel it, but what you're saying, I'm more so leaning towards how you're feeling. So sometimes that creates a bond that you never experienced, and not saying that it will feel the same, because even after, if I use my own example, my first official heartbreak and let down by a male, from cheated on to all types of things where my friends went through, and I'm like, I know great men. I've experienced only, and they were telling me things like, I've never been cheated on. So me finally experiencing that, it kind of changed like the understanding, like the momentum of, oh, okay, this is why it took you so long to heal. This is why, it was a process. This is why I kind of told you, like, get over it, or let's go here, let's go try, let's go painting, or try to change your mindset or get your mind off that person. And it took them longer than I expected. So I think a lot of times with trauma bonding, it's just happening through not really personal experience. It's just listening to the person's story and kind of hearing it out and trying to connect the one and two from not even the same type of trauma, but possibly trauma that you've experienced. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't have to be, I don't think it has to be exact, but I think a lot of times just hearing somebody's story, you're like, ooh, I kind of feel it. So it's kind of like a feeling.
What's your thoughts?
Trauma bonding. I don't know about trauma bonding. What do you define trauma bonding as?
Someone bonding with other people over a shared experience. But in this case, sometimes it's not necessarily a shared experience. It's just you're living vicariously through somebody else's trauma.
I don't relate to that. I feel sorry when people tell me stories like where they've been abused. Of course, I hurt for them because I'm a female. I don't want other females to get hurt. But bonding, not so much. Like, I feel bad. Like, I'm sorry. I'm glad that you got out of that. Like, I love you so much. Like, I try to give them love, but I don't know about bonding, like where I relate to it. No, if something does, like, and what you said about the reels, like if it doesn't apply to me, I don't like it or anything. I just look at it. It ain't for me. Next, like, I don't bond over that. Like, if it's not for me, it don't apply. Let it fly.
Okay. What's your thoughts on this?
I think it's easier to trauma bond. I think that a lot of women, because I've experienced where I'm like, it's not even your story, so why are you attacking me? And it's like, well, I feel like I got to defend all Black women who's been through it, but it's like, it's not your story, right? So I think it's easier to stay. This is how we've unfortunately been viewing how we've been developing friendships. A lot of it is based on a trauma bond, and you'll see with a lot of friendships that way, when I'm out of my trauma, then we're not friends, right? Because it was only cool for that point. So that's why they don't really like me, because I'm not on here to trauma bond with. We're not going. I want us to, like, I've even had a live where they was just going. It was like story after story, and I'm like, wait, this is not the live where we going to be on here trauma bonding. Like, it's not for one person tell their story about being this happening to them, and it just kept going. I'm like, wait, I want us to not be victims. And you're telling a story that happened 15 years ago. Let's be survivors. Like, let's not sit in this victim mentality. And I think that that's how Black women feel. I'm gonna speak for Black women. I feel like that's how we feel like we can only get to know women. It's like, oh girl, your boyfriend cheated on you. Mine did too. And then we just, that's kind of how a lot of relationships, it could be anything. It could be a job, but it always comes with something bad that that's kind of how it goes. And then you have, like I said, the women who it never happened to them before. And this is what the sisterhood, quote unquote, has become, that you just defending stuff that don't even have nothing to do with you. But when it's something that's wrong, you don't defend it. You won't stand up for nothing. It's only when it fits, But I think a lot of women are defending their mom, their sisters. So a lot of them are speaking for other people and they don't even know.
Okay. Do you think that women bond over like positive things though? Like, or like walking down the street and they both got flowers in their hands, like, oh, your man bought you flowers, oh, my man bought you flowers too. Do you think that happens?
I don't think it's as a majority. I think that's a more minority of that happening, right? I don't think that in today's society that I think it's easier. Again, it's easier for us to sit on the phone for 15 hours and dog this man out. You know what I'm saying? Versus sit down and talk about how great black men are.
You said you don't identify with trauma bonding, so you identify with the opposite. Like what I was talking about,
with
bonding over positive.
Yeah, like yes.
I do believe that there's like I do believe it's a minority thing. It's not something that's so common, and even when you find yourself in a predicament of trying to do so, you kind of feel like silly because it's like that person is not filling your cup up.
Or the women who are trying to share their flowers, women will attack you for sharing your flowers. So again, if your story is too happy, they don't like it because it ain't a sad story that we can relate to. I can relate to the pain, but I can't relate to them flowers. So I want to strip those flowers from you.
Yeah, I think it's so crazy because I feel like that's how men bond. You know what I mean? Like we at the basketball court and we bond over happy things. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, you just won your game. I mean, I was killing over here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how we form friendships. And then we get penalized for women saying, "Oh, y'all friendships don't be deep." Like, you know what I mean? It's just surface level. But our friendships last our whole life. Meanwhile, y'all best friend is 2 years ago. Like, I mean,
they on Instagram talking about I need a new bestie.
And I think nowadays, honestly, like especially with women, we are always competing. It's never like you said, nobody's ever building you up or saying positive things about you. Like, girl, get to it, or it's never nothing positive. It's always some type of, somebody may say something positive, but there's always a double negative somewhere. Like
it's like trying the butt. It's like it's the butt.
They be trying to compete in the victim Olympics. Like, yeah, my man cheated on me. Well, my man cheated on me and he stole my car. Well, my man cheated on me, got a girl pregnant, and like
I had a post that went viral. I saw a woman who shared. It was.
That.
Nah, they talking shit to each other.
Nah, I do think that does happen. Like, Nah, actually, degrees maybe. I don't know about the bends.
But I had a woman share. I saw the post where she talked about they were bonding over who had the worst baby daddy. Like, and that was going. Everyone's like, tag me in. So you got women making videos about whose baby daddy is the worst. Like that was a trend, right? And that's what we do, right? So it's like, tag me in. Why, But if you tell a story like, tell me a story about, someone, the best date you ever been on, a woman will share it. Now people get in your comments and eat you up because you're talking about how happy your date, you know what I'm saying? They don't like that, unfortunately.
I knew there was a shift because when I did see the few women celebrating their men, especially on social media, when you go to the comments, like just recently I was talking to Jew, Rihanna publicly was like, she likes to make sure her hair is done when ASAP come home. How can that possibly be a negative thing? I go to the comments and the women are like, "Girl, you don't have to look good for no man." I'm like, "Bro, are y'all serious right now?" And there's a flood of comments who are women who are actually upset that she is doing something that makes her man happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I've seen that a lot more on social media. Like, obviously this could just be on social media.
The most fearful impact of trauma bonding is to young women, young girls growing up, and they get that from mothers and fathers, where we teach our young women to be independent. We say you don't need a man, and I know we want to just say it's a woman thing, but men say the same thing to their daughters. Hey, don't ever need a man. Girl, go to school and this, that. So I think that's the most fearful impact of trauma bonding, because women are growing up hating men without even giving them the opportunity of love or connection or intimacy or friendship. All these other things they're losing out on because they already hate a man because their mother had a bad experience with a man, or her father was a bad man, and that this little girl that knows nothing about life knows that she shouldn't like a man.
Yeah.
But again, even when you just said that, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm thinking about the guest that we just had, and she was like, she admitted that, you know, her father wasn't, you know, a productive father, which I guess justify why she is allowed to say negative things about black men. You know, it's okay for black women to say stuff like that. Like, you know, they will critique a lot of black men sometimes with you must hate your mother. Like we get that a lot. You must hate your mother.
Well, they said that to me. I must hate my mom.
Yeah, like
you're black women accountable.
But
that's the.
but when black women have these negative thoughts about black men, nobody says you must hate your father, and it's clearly true because you know what I mean. Like, you know, so it's just like, you know, why is it there? It's always that double standard.
But yeah, nah.
But that's what I'm saying. That one experience can cause you to have a whole hatred towards men, and for some reason that's valid. But when I guess when a black man is not allowed to have that same experience with his mom because, oh well, she raised you, so you should automatically be grateful.
My grandmama raised me.
You know
What you
what I mean?
talking about?
You know, they gonna still say it's a black woman. You hate your grandmother now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this last topic before we get up out here, how can we come up with like some solutions? Because a lot of the conversation, you know, especially in our community, is very divisive. There's always one side of the spectrum that is just negative. Like, you know what I mean? How can we come up with more solutions to help mend this wound, obviously, in our community?
I don't believe that there is any form of mending when it comes to this because it's historical. Like, it's been going on for decades, right? Even if we think it back in, we can go back into slave trades, all types of things. From we've been going head on. It's been Jim Crow, right? We've been divided, and that's why we continuously been conquered in our community. Even if we're talking about the guest that we just had, we were just solely speaking on the all, right? Her topic is fair. You feel they have that's fair game. If you feel that way, that is fair for you to feel. But we were missing the factor that she said all. Mm-hmm. So people don't realize like how important it is to choose your terms, one, and what things it is actually causing. Mm-hmm. So I think there's just a deep trauma that I don't really feel like we have a map or a diaphragm of how we can fix anything like this. Historically, we've been destroyed from the beginning. If we're thinking about slaves on, the black community.
I can't really say from slave because we were still getting married in slavery. Yeah, we were the most married in this country in the 60s. Yes, like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't until the 80s.
But because we had to.
We still have to.
We still have to, but we had to because of the position we were placed in. So if you think about it, like, you had to look out for your brother and sister because you were being literally, yes.
But why wouldn't you want to? Like,
no, I do want to, but realistically, like, we don't have the resources or the people that we need to keep moving forward. If you think about even things that's happening now with Black Lives Matter and all types of things like that, who is really coming out? When I knew the CEO, when I knew the person that started the Black Lives Movement, the creator, people weren't coming out for Hawk as much as they should have. You get what I'm saying? People, and all in all, in Black communities, unless it's happening to you directly, people are not there for you. Period. It sounds scrutiny, but they're not going to be there for you because we're trying to probably keep ourselves afloat, from financially to family to all types of other things, our own personal desires. People don't make time for things they do not have desires or seek desires in. So for you to say what's going to break it, I feel like it's probably personal, and it's just up to you to make a difference personally and around the friends that you have, because community-wise, it will take, I'm talking about decades probably to correct. We live in cream, cash rules everything. So everybody has their own momentum of what their focus is. I want to be this. I want to be a doctor. I need money. I need this. It never is around, oh yeah, I want to rebuild my community. I've fairly ever heard somebody say, I want to rebuild my community. I've had time where I want to even start a nonprofit, but it's like, most people don't start nonprofits because they want profits, right? You want money. You want to be able to survive, to keep contributing to the nonprofit. So I don't know what would correct us and make us like more like in sync, other than like the things you've said, holding each other accountable, and speaking up. But as you see, when you speak up, you get backlash. So a lot of people are afraid of that. It's a lot of things that tie in. There's a lot of pros and cons and domino effects. So it sounds so easy to say, but it's easier said than done, all in all. So that's what I would say. I I mean, I hope once y'all started, I'll be on the bandwagon, but jeez.
What's your thoughts? How do you think we come up with some solutions?
I think that we need to move with love and integrity and intention. We need to do things without the need for an applause. Like, we need to do it. It doesn't matter what social media says. If I have somebody in front of me that's crying, like a young girl who's crying over a boy, I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to ask her what's wrong. Like, look, like, lift your head up. It's okay. Like, life goes on and you're going to be okay. You're going to be better. It's one person. It's many men out here that will treat you right. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what everybody thinks. It's about what the impact that you make on a personal level. You might not get all the accolades. You might not get awards for it, but you need to know that you moved with love, intention, and integrity and kindness. Treat everybody kind. Like, you're not here to win the best Black person award. Like, I've changed my community. Whoever you come into contact with, if they said that they have had a positive or life-changing experience with you, that's all that matters. Like, you're in a position where you speak with young girls. You're a counselor. So your opinion and whatever you tell these girls are very impactful on their lives. So you're making your change within your community right there. It's not like you have to take the whole community and put it on your back. It's about how you move personally as a person, as a human being. Like, that's it. That's how you make a change. You're not here forever. You're here for your time, and then somebody else takes over. Like, you have to make the most of your journey while you're here. That's it.
Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts?
I think personally we have to start caring about other people than ourselves. Like, I think we live in, like I said, a very individualized, we've lost all sense of community. We've lost our sense of a village. So I think once we can start to care about the neighbor's kids, I also think we need to start caring about our perception. That's my opinion. I think that people really just don't care how they're being perceived, which is also adding to the foolishness of the community. Like, nobody cares how they look. Nobody cares, what they represent. It's very much like, oh, well. So I think we should be thinking about trying to change our community, coming together to try to change the community. And it has to be as a collective, right? Like, I do have a nonprofit because I do care about my community and I do care about young girls, and I want to be able to impact them in different ways, and not just in my community, but in other communities that I know that's suffering. I think if we start to recognize that it's not just about me, and I think so many people, again, they think, well, it ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't care. And I think my opinion, anybody who adapts that mentality that has nothing to do with me, you're a part of the problem. If you see the problem happening, you like, well, you're a part of the problem.
Yeah. Agree. Yeah, I think that we got to get back to communities, having communities. I know we don't have no communities that we feel comfortable in right now. Everybody's so separated. I know Drew speaks about, people not even know who their neighbors are nowadays. Mm-hmm. We just, you know what I mean? So we don't have that sense of security in our own communities. Yeah. I think holding people accountable, mm-hmm. whether it's men, whether it's women, I think we have to stop the rhetoric and, be more intentional about what we say. We have these platforms now. So, even us, we got like over 200K mm-hmm. on YouTube, 150 over here. Like, so what we say, that's like having 150,000 people in one room. There's the people that's actively listening. Mm-hmm. So if we say things like all, or, you know what I mean? Like, we just generalize, those things speak to all those 150 people. Like, you know what I mean? So, and that's not even how we truly feel, but we're using such divisive words that is just making it seem like, oh, okay, that must be everybody's experience. Like, you know what I mean? So we just got to go back to having these hard conversations, bro. I know they're not easy. They make people feel uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. You might get triggered at times. You might feel like we talking about you. You might be talking about us, but mm-hmm. we got to have these conversations and be open to listening and comprehending without just listening to respond. Like, a lot of times mm-hmm. it's just you were listening just to be like, oh, well, you did it. Like, you know what I mean? Just listen, mm-hmm. listen to each other, both parties, and then we could try to come up with a solution there. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, you took mine with the listening. I ain't gonna lie, but I think most importantly, we gotta start healing. Like, therapy is very important. I mean, I think this generation is making it more aware in our community, but I think we need to do a better job of really. I know we just spoke about not being individuals, but individually, I think we need to heal from our traumas because we all got different traumas. Some of us got the same traumas. I mean, but I think we need to start there. And then with that, we could produce, positive energy to put back into the community. And I mean, when you walk around and you see these kids in this generation, you see a lot of trauma. I ain't gonna lie. I like.
How often you see kids playing outside now?
I seldom. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. And I always say this. I'm like, yo, if I was doing this kind of shit when I was younger, I'd have got my ass beat. I think we need to bring back belts. I think that's what we need to do for real. Like, yo,
to beat them.
Yeah, because I see kids subway surfing and shit.
No discipline.
Yo, I never. You know how much times I rode the subway and I never thought, let me climb up on that shit and ride them up. Like, what the fuck? Like, yo, it's just a really crazy time we're living in. But yeah, I think healing is where it starts for real.
Drew, real quick before you get up out of here.
I would say lead by example. Be what you want to see and applaud the ones that you see doing it. We got to actively support our brothers and sisters. And I do agree with the ladies when they said that earlier. Like sometimes you want to hear it. Sometimes you want to feel it. Sometimes you want to be able to touch it. And even before my incident, we were going into a situation where we were going to be active with young little boys. And we will be a support system for young little boys, if not today, tomorrow. But before I get off this planet, I'm going to be a difference maker, not only to my sons, not only to their sons when they have them, but it's important to me to be a staple in my life to make change and to make progress. So we got to be a part of that, and you got to lead with leadership.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
That is beautiful, man. Like, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. I know it got a little spicy. I know people got a little frustrated. They had to go to the performances and shit like that. But we appreciate everybody.
Throw a shade down.
Like, we appreciate everybody. Man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Again, let them know where they can follow you at.
So once again, I'm Ming, Ming. You can follow me at _KVRBY. I'm from Harlem, if that helps.
Mrs. JP, MRS _JP on Instagram.
And I'm Just a Girl. You can follow me on TikTok at I'm Just a Girl 2 and on YouTube at Just a Girl Talk.
And we need more content creators like her because her criticism is very fair. She's not just saying this stuff I know they like to throw the term pick me and stuff like that. I mean, you already married. Shout out to your husband right here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
She already got picked.
Yeah, so I mean, we need more platforms like you because I don't see a lot. I see a couple of women a lot more lately, but I don't see enough. And I think we do need to have that balance because we're getting flooded with so much negativity, even from the young boys' side. They don't have no real role models to choose from. So I'm glad that you have your platform, and we're going to continue to keep supporting you. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, cop the merch, Dailyrapupcrew.co.
That's crazy. You got holes in this shirt and shit.
It's just one of the weeks. Join the membership. The podcast audio every Tuesday, 6 a.m. Man, appreciate y'all.
You heard?
Hey.